So the topic tonight is deep rest. How delicious is that? Is there anyone here that thinks that sounds disgusting?
No.
Nobody. That's great. I didn't want to ask anyone to leave. And it was on the flyer, so you kind of knew what you're getting into. You know, the irony for me, as delicious as deep rest is, and it's just something that I was aspiring to in my life, I wouldn't give it to myself. For so many years, I wouldn't give myself any kind of rest. You know, I wouldn't touch rest with a 30-foot mattress. Because that would mean that I'd have to stop doing. It would mean that I would have to stop physically doing, mentally doing. So I couldn't, there's no way that I could rest. There's no way I could give myself deep rest. The rest that I needed on so many levels, not just the physical level. There was so much of me that needed to rest. But what it boils down to, why I couldn't give myself rest, because I didn't love myself. If I did, surely rest would be included in that love for self. And the thing is that I was deeply insecure. I had to do. I had to constantly do. And it's funny because we live in a world that we're praised for everything that we do. Nobody praises the guy that knows how to rest. Well, and it's so common. What do you do for a living? Here's a pro tip. You know, you won't stop living if you stop doing. But it's so ingrained that we have to do something, that my self-worth was wrapped up in that doing. So that was a barrier for me to learn how to just sit down and rest. You know, and if I stopped for a minute and I wasn't doing, then I didn't feel that I was worthy. Because I gathered up all my self-worth out of what I could do, out of what I was doing, out of what I wanted to do. You know, so there's all of that presses on us, and it sort of prevents us from ever moving into a place where we can just learn how to be, how to rest, how to have, and let alone have deep rest. Tonight is about, I didn't just say rest or gently relaxing. Tonight is about deep rest. So what is deep rest? And how do we get to that? You know, for me, I could get to relaxing maybe after about 20 beers. But I couldn't get to that deep rest because I didn't know how to rest my mind. You know, and I talk about this so frequently, the mind, setting down the mind. I'm not going to stop talking about it because we can't get to a place of deep rest if we're deep in the mind, if we're deep in that chatter. And it's not just the mind, it's the thoughts dropping into the mind, and it's the commentary that we have back to all those thoughts. So deep rest requires us to not pay attention. Give the mind a break. Like, the mind could go on holidays and you'll live. Trust me. I've done it a few times from experience. I have not died. I am actually here right now. So we think that the mind is who and what we are, and there's a stream of thoughts that are constantly coming into the mind, and we think it's our job to talk to that. And then who is that person in your head that you're talking to? Is that you? I don't think so. And what I think the real you is the you that you meet when you're able to set down the mind and get into that deep rest. And in that deep rest, we find this silent space within ourselves. And in that silent space, there's the fire, like this evening, the sacred fire. There's the fire that burns in the soul. It's the flame of the divine, the creator that lives within us. You know, I remember when I was with the Ashaya monks, they would say that when we meditated, it was about as good, like a 20-minute meditation is about as good as a 22-hour nap. And I believe that to be true. But here's the thing, we don't have to close our eyes to get to that deep, restful place in ourselves. All we need to do is we start by learning to let go of the grasp that the mind has on us. Let go of the grasp that we have on our mind in our thoughts. That's the first step. The second step is to just allow yourself to just be. There's so many moments of the day that we can have our eyes open, but be deeply resting. So, and you know, I would justify that I had so much to do, and that's why I could never stop doing, or I can never stop grinding. God, I hate that term. Is there anybody here that hates the word grinding? I'm grinding it out. Oh, that's great. Grind it. Does that not wear things down when you grind it? Are you not wearing yourself down? I don't want to be a grinder. That's not me. I just find it so hilarious that we turned this doingness into, and we give, there's terms that we've added to justify doing. Well, I'm just grinding. I'm going to grind this out because I need to get to this goal. I need to do this thing, or I need to have something, and then I'll be happy. And then maybe someday I'll rest, but before then, no, we're just going to grind it. Not for me. No thanks. But here's the thing. By touching into that deep, restful place in ourselves, it doesn't mean that we never start to do. What it means to me, and what it's created in my life, is by learning to touch into that deep, restful place, is that it's given me better ideas on what to do. What's more purposeful to my soul's journey? What's more purposeful to joining in on the journey of all the souls around me? It's offered me guidance. Learning to go into that deep, restful place helps me fulfill my purpose. We deeply fulfill our purpose when we're listening to the guidance in that deep, restful spot, and then do from there. But of course, balance is so necessary. You know, in my past, I would grind and grind, and I never knew when to listen to my body. My body would say, it's time to take a rest, but no, I just keep going. You know, because my mind would override everything. So again, touching into that deep, restful spot, listen to it. There's wisdom in there. There's wisdom in all of us. Nobody knows what you're supposed to do from one moment to the next in this life. But that deep, restful spot in you, out of the silence will arise your perfect and unique instructions on how to handle just about everything. So my challenge to you is to, as you leave this event tonight, after you leave the sacred fire and the drumming, to just take this week to rest. In the moments when you don't have to do, just be. Just allow yourself to be. Without grinding in your mind, without grinding in your emotions. Again, there is another trap that keeps us from going into the most restful place in the heart, in the soul, in that deep restful place. We either we're thinking or we're feeling, but we're not souling, we're not hearting. And so that's my challenge this week. Go into your heart, go into that silent, deep place in you. Listen for its guidance. And, you know, for me, it's given me the most perfect, on-point life that I could ever ask for. I don't understand anything that it's telling me. Trust me, I'm not that smart, but sometimes the wisdom that pours out of this deep, restful place in me, I sort of scratch my head and, well, okay, that's what we're doing. But it's not like we're ever going to know that why sometimes. But the idea is that we learn to go there, listen to that inner guidance that you have and trust it, and do a little bit of that. So, thank you everyone for coming out tonight to the Sacred Fire.
So yeah, I just want to call my ancestors, my spirit guides, and the Most High Mother, Father, God, Spirit, Universe, Creator. Please allow me to channel through my voice, through my light language, whatever the collective, which is you this evening, needs to hear, needs to feel in your soul. Thank you so much for having us here tonight.
Teri se
kutruna tremakai. Alla tre credenza unata ampati sitia kundra matatia gresitia truma alle trina kundru mate che si pianta trosu matari che si piano mata alema triundrunaga estetia arahantu sudia katarine sitia